And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to the Gatorade 150s, the dual races, to set the rest of our starting grid for the Daytona 500 for the PCS Array Monster Energy Series, as we're getting set for 60 laps and 150 miles of racing here at the Daytona International Speedway. On the pole position and the fastest driver from Sunday's qualifying is Anne Maria. She will be alongside of Manny Rivera, Alida Terez, and Betty Barrett Row 2. This is the odd number people. These are the drivers that finished in the odd numbered positions, first, third, fifth, seventh, ninth, etc. And we are set to go racing here today. Of course, 60 laps. These drivers will have to make a pit stop for this race. And Cody Smart already given the command to fire the engines. While these cars are rolling off, I'm going to go get my water, so give me 1 second. All right, just got my water, and we're ready to go. Ready to go. This is going to determine who will start third for the 500. If Anne Maria wins, the driver that finishes second in this race, or in the dual races, they'll start third. Same thing that will happen in dual race number 2 with Kevin Joseph. If he wins, whoever finishes second will start fourth in the 500. Those would be the outside of row number 2. Nobody had to go to the rear of the field. Only 3 cars had to go to the rear of the field in dual race number 2. As we're getting set to go racing here at Daytona. 60 laps, 150 miles. Fuel window about 35, 37 laps. That's how far they can go on fuel. You don't want to wreck your car here in this dual race, or you will have to go to a backup car and start the rear of the field for the 500 on Saturday night. Here we go. All right, drivers, reach up there, pull the belt tight one more time for dual race number 1. And we are green! Very good start from all of these drivers as we enter turn number 3. And Maria will lead the first lap of this dual race. All 21 took the green. All 21 will be determining where they will start. Of course, Anne Maria knows where she's going to start. But if she gets involved in an incident, she forfeits her pole position spot, goes to a backup car, and starts at the rear field. These guys don't want to wreck their primary cars or have an engine failure in this dual race, or you'll have to change the motor or go to a backup car and have to start at the rear of the field for the 500. Terez takes the lead. Here comes Courtney Lynn in the 24, sorry. Terez is in the 74 Royals. But anyway, Courtney Lynn Going to the race lead here, bringing Zack Underwood with her, and that's Allison Washington and the Geico Ford Fusion. Only one rookie is in this field as far as this duel is concerned, and that is Tatiana Noguera. Ironically, there are 3 female drivers that have never raced the Daytona 500 before. Noguera, Maddie Crenshaw, and trying to think who else was it's Lauren Chamberlain. Of course, Crenshaw and Chamberlain are in dual race number 2, which you will see that race immediately after this one, because we will have an intermission report. Allison Washington now takes the lead. That's Maddie Crenshaw in the 56. And if your driver's in dual race number 2, you're watching this first race to see what the track is like. Let's give our weather report, brought to you by the Weather Channel. It is really chilly. It is 40 degrees, clear skies, winds blowing northwest at 12 miles an hour. Track temperature is like 65. Qualifying was like 41 degrees. Track temperature 70 degrees. And even though the sun is out, which normally when the sun is out, the track gets hot and slick. But since it's very cool, the track is going to have a lot more grip despite the sun being out. Excuse me. Had a little belch there. Sorry about that. I am drinking water for anyone who's asking. And I'm not going to figure steel since I got water in my cup. So Melissa Cooper going to take the race lead. Melissa Cooper, one of the drivers in the 12 machine. She's looking forward to a good season in 2024 after a not so good season in 2023. Of course, 2024 is going to be as Melissa Cooper leads. Of course, Ish Taylor in second. Riley Andersen, well, as soon as I say that, Riley Andersen got moved up the track by Ish Taylor's teammate Zack Underwood in the 60. Cooper still leads. Lauren Eckstorm just moved her way to third, so did Manny Rivera. Sorry if I wasn't commentating. I was too busy figuring out what's going on my phone here. as Zack Underwood just got underneath Melissa Cooper and takes the lead. Zack Underwood in the 60. There's Tatiana Noguera, who started 16th in this race. She moved her way to third. Now she's going to go underneath Lauren Eckstorm, getting some help with Samantha Maple in the 09 as we enter turn number 3. Zack Underwood leads that lap as we've completed, or now on lap number of 11 of 60. Here comes Betty Johnson in the 83. Johnson, Alida Terez, Gloria Tucker, and I see Eckstorm's teammate Betty Barrett up here at the front. Of course, it is 40 degrees, but it felt like 25 down there on the grid just before I made my way up to the booth. Betty Johnson in the 83. Going to lead that lap. Courtney Lynn, who's been in that 24. Since replacing Nathan Orman. Here comes Allison Washington. Allison Washington is from Seattle, Washington, not to confuse her last name from the state in the Pacific Northwest. And there he is. It's taken him 14 laps. It's Mr. Where Did He Come From? Jacob TwoTwo, I like to call him. And also Elijah Leonard's favorite driver in this series. And look who's right behind him. Former champion Annie Thomas in the 23. Jacob TwoTwo, the newest champion of the Monster Energy Series, joins the likes of Annie Thomas, Jake Hayes, Annie and June Einstein, just to name a few. And now Annie Thomas is going to go to the race lead. Here comes Ben Tennyson in the 32. Allison Washington was up there all by herself, going 3 wide and dropping to the back. And Maria, Jacob TwoTwo there on the inside line. Here's a novel concept. Monster Energy is the drink sponsor of this series. Jacob TwoTwo is sponsored by an energy drink. Full Throttle, Illuminati confirmed. I hope Jacob TwoTwo did not drink Full Throttle and Monster when he won the championship at Toronto last week. I hope not. He told me he didn't. Okay. One of my producers said no, he didn't, because that would be a weird combination if you ask me. All jokes aside. Let me do something here real quickly on my phone so I'm not being quote unquote distracted. I may just go deafen. Hold on. There we go. I was logging on to my Discord and I had to go deafen, so there we go. Is Taylor now leading this race in the number 2 machine, sponsored by Monster Energy? Ish Taylor still leads. Of course, the tires are starting to go away. These cars are going to start slip sliding around. So we've just put lap number 20 on the board. These cars are really going to start getting a handful now. Because remember, at the start of the race, they were on fresh tires, full tank of fuel. As we get in this long green flag run, the tires just start going away. These cars are going to start fighting the handling on these cars. As Ish Taylor had to surrender the lead to another Audi, that is Samantha Maple. And looks like nobody in this 21 car pack has lost the lead. Alida Terez denied Samantha Maple from getting down to the bottom of the track. And Maple will now be pushed to the high side as Alida Terez back to the lead. But here comes Gloria Tucker in the 51 machine. Betty Barrett to the inside. Betty Barrett going to take the race lead here. So we're going to drop back. Let's go on board Manny Rivera. You see, he got out of the throttle just a bit when somebody got a bit tight there, and you know that's something you got to be careful about. Is with these tires, you're going to see a lot of lifting, and tells me we're going to have some incidents that could happen in this race. This is a good shot as he's, like I said, going through the corners at 195, 196, 197. That's definitely a good example of what the draft is like here at Daytona. Sorry, I had to adjust my headset there. Annie Thomas was the leader until she got put up to the high side, and now it's Alida Terez back to the lead. Coming up to the halfway point of today's race. Lap 25 of 60. Maddie Crenshaw back to the lead of the race. Alexandra Van Damme in second. Vanellope Von Schweetz in third. I keep my eye on that 26 car because Vanellope Von Schweetz and Daytona are like a wonderful relationship. And Van Damme is going to take the lead from Maddie Crenshaw. And we're about 10 laps away from what would be pit stops in this race. But these teams have got one shot to get it right. You cannot speed on pit road. You cannot, what's the word I'm looking for here? You can't speed. You can't have a crew member over the wall too soon, or lock up the tires, or your day could be done. As we're coming up to the halfway point of this race, Manny Rivera just retook the race lead. Going to be halfway through this first duel. These drivers minding their P's and Q's. You know, if you're Tatiana Noguera, this is something you've never gotten used to as far as, you know, this series is concerned, because this series will be like the main event series, I'm going to say, are going to be like, you know, how like the full race distance you see in the Cup Series. So there you go. We're at the halfway point of dual race number 1, as Noguera is going to take the lead. The question is going to be, you know, when do these drivers feel like it's time to come to pit road? Because like I said, you're in your window to make it the rest of the way. You got to think about, you know, how the tires are going to be, you know, but also you got to give your team some fuel mileage updates, you know, because we normally don't talk about Daytona being a fuel mileage, but like the trucks and Xfinity cars that we'll have for 2024, they're going to have 22 gallons of fuel. These Cup cars, like the Monster Energy cars you're seeing, only have 13. So fuel mileage is really going to play a factor on that perspective versus like trucks and Xfinity cars. As Jacob TwoTwo takes the lead. Jacob TwoTwo going to be enjoying that clean air, but the thing about the clean air is he's got his teammate Betty Barrett right behind him. You're using up a lot more fuel when you're in clean air versus when you're behind somebody. And here come the leaders coming to pit road. That would be TwoTwo, Thomas, Van Damme, and Manny Rivera. Don't run in the back of the O2 there, Manny. I don't want you to committing female abuse. And they have to get down to 55 miles an hour. And doing that, it ain't going to be easy. Because all you're worried about is locking up the tires. I think these drivers just need to get 4 tires and fuel. That's all they're getting. Ooh, 2 tires and fuel. Interesting strategy by Jacob TwoTwo and these 4 drivers that are just coming out of the pits. We're going to have to see if that's going to be a good call or not. Betty Barrett comes to pit road, held up. Ooh, almost got the 12 of Melissa Cooper. Cooper wasn't coming to pit road, but nearly caused an incident. Ben Tennyson, Ish Taylor, and Allison Washington just coming off pit or just coming to pit road, and Gloria Tucker lost a lot of time because she got held up. Melissa Cooper's going to pay the price for this. She almost got turned around. That would have not been a pleasant thing. As the rest of the leaders are coming to pit road. Oh, be careful. Courtney Lynn nearly ran the back of Alida Terez there. Gloria Tucker might have sped on pit road as Tatiana Noguera had to get out of that little mess. Jacob TwoTwo is caught up with some drivers, and we're going to see if that two-tire gamble that TwoTwo did is going to pay off. I don't know what Samantha Maple and them took. I think they took 4 tires. Betty Johnson and Riley Andersen have yet to come to pit road, which I question why they're even staying out to begin with. If they run out of fuel in front of these guys, oh boy, that's going to get interesting. Because they're already past their fuel window, so they need to come to pit road before they run out of gas in front of these guys. And looks like they're not coming to pit road. I really don't understand this. It looks like Vanellope Von Schweetz had trouble on her pit stop. That's a shame. This pack got broken up because Gloria Tucker had trouble. Looks like Samantha Maple has lost the draft with these drivers right up here, and they've caught Riley Andersen and Betty Johnson. I think those two may be out of fuel possibly soon. Unless they already came to pit. Actually, no, they came to pit road. I take that back. But they were going side by side and it allowed Ben Tennyson, Jacob TwoTwo, Betty Barrett, and Ish Taylor to catch right up. Samantha Maple will get swallowed up by this second pack led by Annie Thomas. And it doesn't matter where Anne Maria is going to finish. As long as she survives the next 20 laps, she will start on the pole for the 500 on Saturday night. You'll see that race at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Excuse me. Yeah, the problem for Samantha Maple is she's by herself. She can't catch up to that pack, and plus she's getting reeled in by that second pack. So a lot of drivers thinking in that first race. Now, these drivers, if they can stay lined up, they can reel this pack in. Tucker's got Maddie Crenshaw, and poor Vanellope Von Schweetz is on pit road. Something has happened to the 26. Up, the engine let go. That's such a shame for Vanellope Von Schweetz. And she'll have to change that engine, and we'll have to start the rear of the field. That's got to be gut-wrenching for Vanellope. But the good news is she still has that primary car still intact. Unfortunately, she's going to have a so the good news is for Schweetz, it wouldn't really matter since, well, she's going to be starting at the rear of the field anyway. So even if she were to change that engine, she would already start at the back anyway because she was going to start 41st since she lost the draft. So on the bright side, it's not a big hurt in that situation. As Ish Taylor has gone back to the lead as we're down to 15 laps to go. Betty Barrett going to go the inside line. Takes the lead. A piston failure blew on Vanellope Von Schweetz. So big disappointment for Vanellope Von Schweetz. Betty Barrett still leads this race, along with Ben Tennyson and Riley Andersen. Betty Johnson, Jacob TwoTwo, your top five. Tennyson now leads as we're coming up to the end of this duel race. Coming to the end of this race, Riley Andersen gonna try to find a way to get around Ben Tennyson. The sun, by the way, is starting to go down, so the track temperature is starting to get ready to cool off a bit. As we're nearing the end of this first duel race, all the drivers in duel race number 2 in the garage area all getting strapped in. They've had time to use the restroom. And they'll have their turn on track as we get ready for the Daytona 500 coming up on Saturday night, 7:30 Eastern Time. Pre-race show will begin at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. It will be Daytona 500 in prime time. Riley Andersen trying to hang on to the lead, but will lose it to Betty Barrett. And look at there, teammates working together. Jacob TwoTwo and Betty Barrett working together. Of course, they did that earlier when TwoTwo went to the lead. Barrett was in second. Now it was the other way around. Of course, when you have all three of the Australian Motorsports cars in this duel race, they can work together as far as that's concerned. Jacob TwoTwo, Betty Johnson, currently the leader, and we're being told the 12 is one lap down. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, had to come to pit road. Unscheduled pit stop, we're being told. And it was a flat tire on the right front. Probably ran over some debris or something like that. That's a tough break for Melissa Cooper. This is going to be a not a good starting spot for the 500 coming up Saturday. That's a shame for Melissa Cooper. This is not what she wanted, but there's good news and bad news. The bad news is she's going to probably start 39th. That's the bad news. The good news is, if you're going to have that happen, thank goodness this is a non-points event. Here comes Ben Tennyson, the 32, sorry. 36 is Riley Andersen. And of course, we ran this first dual race caution free. Nearly had a caution with Melissa Cooper. Here comes Riley Andersen. Going to take the lead as we're coming to 3 laps to go in this first dual race. Remember, this is to find out who will start third for the 500. It doesn't matter where Anne Maria finishes because she will start on the pole Sunday as long as she does not have any problems between now and the final 3 laps of this duel. Betty Barrett's up here. Betty Johnson's up here. The Betty and Betty show, as I like to call it. Here they come. Betty Barrett to the inside, but Johnson to the inside of Barrett. Barrett shuts the door. And now the Betty and Betty show are 1-2 with 2 laps to go in this dual race. Jacob TwoTwo trying to get up there to help to try to get by the 090E3 so he can have a chance to help his teammate. After this race, we will take our only commercial break of the event as Betty Johnson's going to take the lead. We're coming to the white flag. Of course, after this dual race, we will take our one and only commercial break so we can calm ourselves after the excitement. White flag in the air, final lap in dual race number 1. Oh, Johnson tried to throw the block, couldn't, because here comes Jacob TwoTwo. Down the backstretch for the final time. Does Tennyson have anything for TwoTwo? Here comes Riley Andersen to the inside. That might have just sealed the deal right there, folks. And the newest champion from this past season in the Monster Energy Series is going to get a dual win as Jacob TwoTwo takes dual race number 1 from Daytona. What an exciting finish. And we still have another duel to go, folks. What a finish. And Jacob TwoTwo will start third in the Daytona 500. No matter what happens. Standings are official, so this is what the grid will be like for the 500. Jacob TwoTwo, he'll start third. Riley Andersen will start 5th in the 500. Ben Tennyson will start 3rd. 9th for Ish Taylor all the way down to like 41st, as my phone decided to go off for no damn reason. And Maria will start on the pole regardless. A lot of these drivers all finished the race with the exception of Vanellope Von Schweetz, who ended up blowing her engine after losing the draft and after a pretty slow pit stop. So tough break for Vanellope Von Schweetz. The good news for her is that she was going to start 41st anyway, so her having to start the rear of the field, well, doesn't make a difference if you ask me. So Tatiana Noguera, 14th. She's going to have her work cut out for her, starting about 27th. Yeah, 27th in the 500 here in today, after her finish in today's duel. So there you go. Well, folks, we're going to take a commercial break. Congratulations to Jacob TwoTwo on the win. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll come back as my phone went off for no damn reason. Sorry about that. That was annoying. I'm going to smack you, phone, for interrupting me, you dumbass phone. Anyway, we're going to take a commercial break. On the other side of the break, we'll have dual race number 2. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the PCS Array on the Blue Hedgehog TV. And welcome back to Daytona International Speedway as we're getting set for Gatorade Duel number 2. I'm going to slide that down there so that way it's out of the way. We have already shown you what happened in Duel number 1. We're going to get ready for the final duel, Duel number 2. This is the drivers that will be on the outside of the front row for the Daytona 500. Kevin Joseph, by virtue of starting on the outside of the front row, next to Anne Maria, will start on the pole for tonight's race, tonight's second duel. Brittany White, Ari Springer, Marty Stevens, as we're going to go ahead and get these cars rolling. And we're going to go green right away. Do apologize if my phone decided to be a stupid moron, if you know what I mean. Something going on with the 84? Nope. Okay. Of course, we are, and of course, like I said, all the starting grids will be down in the description for these two races. Of course, we are now in nighttime conditions. Of course, the temperature is still in the 40s. Because remember, we had a big cold front coming through. Getting set for tonight's second duel race. As I said, this is going to determine who will start fourth in the Daytona 500. Jacob TwoTwo, we know, will start third in the 500, since you already seen the official finishing results from race 1. And of course, before Saturday's Daytona 500, you will see the full starting grid for that race. 3 drivers had to go to the rear of the field, all due to engine failures after qualifying on Sunday. They were Chloe Erickson, Chloe Bumgarner, Danny Rant. And we'll see if their brand new engines will help them get to the front for this race. Of course, we did not have any wrecks in the first race. We almost did, as we're getting ready to go racing here in duel race number 2. Here we go. Green flag. Gatorade duel race number 2 is underway. Oh, and my favorite Mario friend, Senor Sean, is here. That's because I'm muted, so. Hola, Senor Sean. Wait, why can I not hear you? Oh, that's why, because I didn't have speaker on. Ari Springer will lead the first lap of Gatorade Duel Race number dos. You know, with the lights on and the track a lot cooler. Track temperature, by the way, has dropped to 57 degrees. So so a lot more grip is going to be applied than what we had in our first race where the sun was out and it was in daytime conditions. And there's Sean. Dora Marquez in second place here in the early stages of Duel Race number 2. If you just joined us during this premiere, this is the Gatorade Duels. Daniel Voiles trying to stay warm here in the booth at Daytona National Speedway, where it's 40 freaking degrees and I'm freezing my ass off up here. But I got a blanket and a tuxedo, so I should be okay. But Daniel Voiles here at Daytona National Speedway. Cody Smart, our producer and engineer, back on the wagon. Of course, we got Sean, Nathan Orman, Zachary Taylor on the wagon, or what we call the Hollywood Hotel. There's Soraya Ittman. That's a couple of Lincolns 1-2. We talked about Lincoln Continental having a rough season this past season in this series. That they hope to have a bounce back performance here today. And I see Chloe Erickson didn't take her long to get from the back to the front because she's all the way up to 5th. And we're not even on lap 5 yet. Of course, our race analysis, 60 laps, 150 miles, if you've been doing the math at home. Fuel window between 35, 37 laps. I'm kind of curious if these drivers may take 2 tires. Because if that's the case, 2 tires won that first duel race. And that's something you don't normally see at Daytona. Normally you would need to take 4 tires. But some people took 2 tires. And that was definitely the one to call. So I wonder if these drivers learned something from that. We almost had an incident in the first race where drivers were trying to come to pit road. Danny Rant has also worked his way to the front. Remember, he had to start the back because his engine gave up the ghost in qualifying on Sunday. Danny Rant in the 06. There's Lauren Chamberlain in the 1 car, the McDonald's all-day breakfast Chevrolet for Chip Ganassi Racing. She is right behind Lisa Gonzalez. That's KJM 1-2, Rant and Gonzalez. And how fitting, the Daytona 500, you'll see Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is going to be on my dad's birthday. Am I thrilled about that? 50-50. There's Timmy Turner, our 2016 winner of the 500. Timmy Turner announced that in 2024 it will be his final season as a driver. He will still own this team, the Turner Buick Racing Team. He will retire at the end of next season. Turner is like in his mid-30s, so it is understandable knowing his two kids are growing up and he wants to spend more as a dad, which is understandable. Seeing one of the Audis back there, I think that's the 14 of Reynolds. Yes, it is. Chloe Bumgarner's back here. Of course, remember, Bumgarner had to start at the back. She would have started somewhere in the top 10 if her engine didn't give up the ghost. And there's Annie Crenshaw. We talked about Maddie Crenshaw, who was in dual race number 1. Well, trying to give advice to her sister, Annie Crenshaw, who, by the way, is the youngest driver in the Daytona 500 field at the age of 18. And something else, she already graduated from high school. I bet she's going to be a nervous wreck as far as I'm concerned. You go from graduating high school in Annie Crenshaw to now being the youngest driver to run the Daytona 500 at the age of 18, believe it or not. Only in this series can you surprise a lot of people. And of course, all of these drivers are going to figure jail because they're going to have Olive Garden after this race. Well, actually, yeah. Well, some of them will have some good food choices before they come back to the track. Danny Rant had to start shotgun. Didn't take him long from the back to the front in about 10 laps. We're now on lap number 11 of 60. By the way, this is the second dual race. Should throw a note, if you did not see the official finisher results from race number 1, you can rewind this video and see where your driver finished. Last two Daytona 500s, we've only had one caution. Will that trend continue, or are we going to see for the very first time in PCSRA history a caution-free Daytona 500? Something tells me in the back of my mind we're not going to have either or. I know Maddie Crenshaw didn't have a good run in dual race number 1. As far as her finish is concerned, let's hope Annie Crenshaw does not follow in her sister's footsteps as far as her finish is concerned. Even though, to be fair, Annie Crenshaw has never raced a Daytona 500 in her life until now. So I'm just going to be light on the rookie. There's Ari Springer. Springer made the playoffs in this past season in Buffalo Wild Wings and Monster Energy Series. Sadly, she got eliminated after the round of 12 in both series, believe it or not. As I noticed on Discord, we're happy to see Father Ormy back after I think he took like a break, which is good, as of this recording. Yes. Oh, here we go again with the touch. Let's hope to goodness sake Sean wrecks the field in this race, because we nearly had a wreck in the first race. We almost had a wreck, and it was involving the 12, who nearly got wrecked by somebody because some drivers were coming to pit road in the first race. So Danny ran, and Annie Crenshaw goes to second. Of course, Annie Crenshaw, one of 3 Daytona 500 rookies. So that's why you can tell the R next to her name. Ooh, Ari Springer tried to look underneath Annie Crenshaw, got Annie Crenshaw a bit of a break. That could have been pretty bad. Ari Springer and Annie Crenshaw are part of Cody Smart's team, so that would have not been pretty under Cody's regime. And I see Kevin Joseph, our pole sitter. Looks like he's about to lose the draft. It's a good thing you're starting on the front row for the 500, Kevin. Because there's no sensibly to improve your position because, well, you're starting on the pole regardless, or starting on the front row regardless of what happens tonight, as long as you don't wreck your car. And I already know Sean's already touching my car in the garage area, that 59 that I'm going to be running soon. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do score checks after this last duel race is done. So, yeah. By the way, after this race is over, we'll have Sportsnet PCS Array with Cody Smart, Sean Art, Nathan Orman, Zachary Taylor, Kyle Langland. They'll recap these 2 duel races, get their opinions on that 2-tire call that paid off for Jacob TwoTwo to win that first duel race. And previous Saturday night's Daytona 500 at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Why do I like primetime Daytona 500? You'll see why Saturday night. And of course, the 500 is to make up from February that I was going to do, but I didn't have time to do it because of, well, at my old job, that is. There's Lauren Chamberlain. Here's the ironic part. All three of the drivers that are rookies in the 500 are, interestingly enough, all female drivers. Chamberlain, Crenshaw, Annie Crenshaw, and Tatiana Noguera. All 3 are rookies in the 500. That's ironic. As I'm enjoying my yummy water. Which, who does not? And no, water does not put you in figure shield, so you're safe. But if I was having a soda, yes, I would be going to figure shield. If anybody complains about somebody having water, yeah. Unless it's like a flavored water. Of course, don't forget, we got, as my roommates are back from work. Question is for these drivers is that, do they take the chance of taking what Jacob TwoTwo did, winning that first duel race, 2 tires? Because like I said, you can only go 37 laps on 1 tank of fuel, because remember, we're on the 13-gallon fuel cells for these Cup cars.
Hello.
Danny Rand, still the leader here. Marty Stevens in second. Of course, Riley Andersen had a great finish in the first dual race. Finished in the top 5. Stevens now in second. So both of the Mercedes that really struggled this past season in Munster, they're making it up and then some here this speed week. Dor Marquez in the 07, right now currently in third. Dor Marquez in her 13 seasons has never won the 500 before. In fact, there's a lot of 13-year veterans that have never won the 500. Dor Marquez is one of them. Jacob TwoTwo is another. Trying to think who else is a 13-year vet that have never won the 500. Then again, the only one who has won the 500 that has completed 13 seasons of Monster Energy Racing is, of course, the driver I mentioned in dual rate. Mentioned in this field, Timmy Turner. And of course, Betty Barrett also won the 500 as well. So 2 drivers we already have won. Dor Marquez is, I believe, the only driver that has never won the 500 in her 13 seasons, believe it or not, since we started PCS Rate back in 2010. Ari Springer currently going to the lead. Of course, everybody is probably already home from school and work as of this recording. Because like I said, I premiered this at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. Here on a Thursday. Which today is Thursday, by the way.
But when you're recording it.
Mm-hmm. Brittany White in the 53, in second. And the other thing is, this is, and some people will probably say it's probably for West Coast viewers and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, it's for that reason. Plus, I want to do the first race in the daytime because the sun's going down, and then dual race number 2, which you're seeing this right now, at night. So now you know why I did that. And then Saturday night, we're going to be in prime time. So, woohoo! Yeah, with 42 in the field. And the other good thing is, and there's going to be some questions, there's a 1 in 39 chance we get a new Daytona 500 winner. Why do I say that? Out of the 42 drivers in this field, 2 of them, actually it's a 1 in 40 chance, not 1 in 39, but either way, out of the 42 drivers in this field, Turner and Barrett are the only 2 former winners in this field. Can you believe that? What's interesting is that Turner won actually the biggest Wreckfest 500 in 2016, believe it or not. Since we were just talking about Wreckfest. And of course, that was the race when we only had 5 drivers finish the race. 2 of them on the lead lap, believe it or not. And if I still had that race up, Sean would have been doing the happy dance saying, "Carnage, my favorite." And say that was the best Daytona 500, which it is still the best Daytona 500, despite, well, let's see, 2 or 3 cars ended up in the catch fence that race. Good grief. One of them being our executive producer, Jackie Tang, which Jackie Tang reminded me not to bring that up on the air. And I'm sorry that I had to bring it up, but it's true. Oh, man. Danny Rant into 06. All these sponsors are really now making me hungry/thirsty, which I know they're all going to figures jail after this race is over. Yes, and I can say this: Full Throttle and Monster Energy is not a good combination as far as a drink is concerned, because that would taste weird. Sorry, Jacob, I have to bring that up. Jacob's like, yep, I don't mind. And of course, after this special event, these drivers will be heading to the Bahamas to celebrate Champions Weekend. That will be coming up next month, believe it or not.
Hey, Danny, I'll be right back.
Okay. Sean had to go help a family member. That's probably why. Chloe Erickson, currently in third. As we're coming up to the halfway point of this race, of course, you're seeing like two races that are combined 300 miles, which is almost an Xfinity race. So, right, it's been now in third. Danny Rant still leads. Checking the back of the field here. Notice there's 19 cars. Nope, not. Okay, never mind. Looks like Kevin Joseph caught back up. There he is in that 75. He just caught up to this pack. As we're now halfway home in dual race number 2. Paulette Burrows going to take the lead. Fuel mileage really coming into play on Saturday night will be interesting. Marty Stevens right now in third behind Sarai Itmed, Timmy Turner, Lisa Gonzalez, the top 5. As the top 6 are now single file with Dora Marquez getting around Danny Rant for 6. Troy King, Chloe Bumgarner, Mackenzie Thompson completing the top 10 as we're checking the back of the field. Brittany White back here, Annie Crenshaw, Lulu Champagne. Paulette Burrows, Timmy Turner. Now here comes Dora Marquez for the second position. Paulette Burroughs will still take the lead in the process. Here comes Paulette Burroughs to pit road. And nobody's going with her. She was hoping somebody was going to go with her, and apparently nobody went with her. So she's not going to have anybody to draft with. And that's not good. That's going to be a big kill for Paulette Burroughs. Anybody else coming to pit road? I think Paulette Burroughs wanted to have a clean pit road, so that way she's not getting involved in incidents that could warrant her going to a backup car. Look out. Oh, we nearly had a wreck. Chloe Erickson nearly got wrecked by her brother because some drivers were trying to come to pit road. Hannah Smith, Chloe Bumgarner, Kevin Joseph, Lauren Chamberlain, Ashley Reynolds, Luke Knight just came to pit road. That was nearly a wreck. Almost in what happened to Melissa Cooper in the first race. And Chloe Erickson lost a lot of time in the process. Which didn't do Chloe Erickson any bit of good. Anybody else coming to pit road? Looks like Dora Marquez, Mackenzie Thompson, no. Here comes Soraya Itzmid, her teammate Ari Springer. Marty Stevens is coming to pit road. Brittany White, do not speed on pit road there, sweetheart. There you go. Lulu Champagne's in. Troy King, Chloe Erickson. Annie Crenshaw has now lost the draft. Dora Marquez and Mackenzie Thompson. Timmy Turner's caught up to the both of them, but they have yet to come to pit road as we're past the halfway mark here in dual race number 2. And here come the leaders coming to pit road. Dana Arndt, Lisa Gonzalez, Annie Crenshaw's coming to pit road. So we basically have already cycled through pit stops. Ooh, careful. Danny Rant nearly got busted for speeding coming to pit road. Now we're going to have to see who's going to get cycled back to the race lead. We'll find out who's going to be the leader when we get timing and scoring updated. And it looks like possibly Hannah Smith's going to take the lead.
Okay.
Looks like Hannah Smith just got around Mackenzie Thompson, who's trying to get up to speed here. Oh, and Chloe Bumgarner just got held up by Lulu Champagne and them that were trying to get up to speed. That's allowed the 76 to have a big lead, but that's not a good idea for Hannah Smith because now she's going to get run down by this pack. And that's not going to do her any favors in this race as far as this is concerned. And they're going to start reeling her in. Chloe Baumgartner now took the lead as a result of trying to catch up to the 76. Hannah Smith now still leads, and like I said, that big lead she had is gone, and now she's going to get swallowed up by Baumgartner, and she did. Only 8 cars in this lead pack. Only 7 in the second pack, led by Kevin Joseph, our pole sitter. Lisa Gonzalez and Chloe Erickson and Annie Crenshaw trying to catch up. Looks like Lulu Champagne's got more problems. Ben Erickson has lost the draft. So is Brittany White. That's not good for Brittany White, because remember, she started second in this race. Chloe Baumgartner going to take currently the leader. Now that's going to be something we didn't talk about in race 1 that we're going to see in race 2. Lap traffic coming into play. Marty Stevens has now taken the race lead. Marty Stevens, now the leader still, is coming to 16 to go here in this dual race. Hannah Smith now in second place. Danny Rant going to go by Dora Marquez for third. Lulu Champagne is now 1 lap down. She's going to be about 20 miles an hour slower than these drivers. Yeah, she's got either an engine problem or something. And she was like that on qualifying day on Sunday. So it looks like her qualifying problems have carried over in the duel. Hopefully they can find something to fix that motor for Saturday night's race. And here comes Lulu Champagne. Now, this is something I was kind of worried about. Lap traffic coming into play in this. That's going to allow those drivers that lost the pack to the leaders to catch right up to them. Like Mackenzie Thompson, because this is allowing the second pack to reel in the main pack. Marty Stevens is going to take the lead, but as I said, you know, when you have a big lead, you're going to get swallowed up real quickly. And Dora Marquez is in danger of going from second to about to be outside the top 10. And she's not too pleased with Lulu Champagne holding her up. Because don't look now, here comes this main pack that's been reeling in. I'm really scared that 47 is going to cause a wreck. And Bumgarner going to take the lead. While everybody else is stuck trying to get around the 47. Coming to 10 laps to go in this dual race. Chloe Bumgarner. Still leading. Looks like Maddie Crenshaw's gotten up to the top 15. So Lulu Champagne's problems with the engine after qualifying thought it was fixed. Apparently it's not. I was kind of worried. She was almost going to bring out our first caution of the entire duels, if not in our entire speed weeks. Becoming the 7 to go next time by. Comes Hannah Smith to take the lead. Got her teammate right behind. Mackenzie Thompson now in second. Coming down to the end of this race. Going to be 6 to go next time by when we hit the line. Hannah Smith leads. I wonder how far away they're coming to catch. They'll be catching Lulu Champagne before this thing's over with. We're going to come to 5 to go next time by. Stevens takes the lead as we're down to 5 to go in this duel race. Be 4 to go next time by. Hannah Smith trying to find a way to get underneath the Lucas Aid Mercedes. Ashley Reynolds is on pit road. Unscheduled stop for the 14. We're starting to have tire problems in this race. Looks like Brittany White's going to get around Lulu Champagne without much of a problem. And don't look now, here come the leaders. That 47 is going to be a problem before this race is over. And cue the famous terms, 47 got hit with an RKO.
Going.
Three to go. Here comes Lulu. Oh, Lulu held up Marty Stevens. Don't think Marty Stevens is going to be too appreciative about that. Lulu Champagne is just doing a hatchet job on everybody else's race. I don't think this is going to sit well with a number of drivers. And as a result, Hannah Smith's going to take the lead. Not sure what happened to Ashley Reynolds. She must have ran over some debris or something. Or the tire went down on the left rear. That's a tough break for her. Tough break for Ashley Reynolds. This is going to be a pretty bad starting position for the 500. And Dora Marquez went from 6 to outside the top. Well, still in the top 10 though, but I don't think a lot of people are going to be happy with Lulu Champagne. As we're going to come to the white flag, final lap in dual race number 2. They're going to catch Brittany White, but it may be too little too late. Hannah Smith still leads going into 3. As they come off turn number 4, they've caught Brittany White, but I don't think it's going to matter. Oh, contact between the 84 and the 19, but Hannah Smith's going to win dual race number 2. What a win for Hannah Smith. There was a little contact between the 84 and the 19. But a great win for Lincoln, because now they're going to have some drivers inside the top 10 for the starting grid for the 500. Going to wait for Brittany White to cross the start-finish line to make the standings official. But Hannah Smith, Chloe Bumgarner, Ari Springer, Soraya Ittman, so all 3 of the Lincolns finished in the top 5 here in this race. Standings are now official. Mackenzie Thompson, Marty Stevens, Dora Marquez, Danny Rant, Lisa Gonzalez, Paulette Burrows, top 10. Marty Stevens was leading until Lulu Champagne interfered with the battle for the win. So a big tough break for her. Look on down through the remainder of the finishing results. Brittany White, Ben Erickson, not sure what happened to the both of them, why they lost the draft. Ashley Reynolds had an unscheduled pit stop near the closing stages of this race, and then Lulu Champagne had engine problems, and she ended up finishing 3 laps down, so she will be starting at the back of the field, which is not expected, but hopefully they can get that engine problem sorted out between now and Saturday night's race. But that is going to do it from here at Daytona National Speedway. Congratulations to Jacob TwoTwo and Hannah Smith for winning the Gatorade Duels. Next up is the Daytona 500. You will see Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you will join us for that. But thank you all for joining me for these 2 dual races. If you enjoyed them, be sure to give this video a like. Subscribe to become part of the PCS Race Crew today. We've shown your full finisher results for this duel. Check back earlier in this video to see the official finisher results in Dual Race 1. You'll see the 500 starting grid in the description on Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you will tune in for that. Until then, I've been DeVille signing off. Good night from Daytona as I'm heading off to Olive Garden for dinner. You've been watching another broadcast of PCS Race TV, the best in our racing since 2017. See you Saturday night here at Daytona.